Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through the industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Brandi Sims, founder and CEO of Brandinc PR, and she is for the last 14 years she has gained extensive experience in handling public relations, digital marketing, graphic design, and PR event planning for her clientele. And her diverse expertise is the result of work with public figures, non-profits, government sector, corporations, as well as small to mid-sized businesses. Welcome to the show, Brandi.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, AJ.
You are welcome. You are welcome, and we'll be learning a lot about, public relations as well as communication from you. So first, to understand from you, Brandi, you know that things have changed so much and continuously changing at the moment. So, just to understand from you is that what what are clients wanting nowadays? What do they want in today's time? Do they want online? Do they want offline? Do they want video? Do they want podcast? Because earlier it was, say 2 3 years down the line, earlier on things were totally different. A good media coverage in many magazine or newspaper would be good enough, for a couple of months, but not anymore, if I understand. But you are the owner of such a successful company, Brandinc PR, so you will be in the best position to tell from your ground to day-to-day ground experience.
Oh, I mean, that is such a great question. And you're right. The climate has changed so significantly. Before, when clients would reach out to PR agencies, they were specifically looking for better media coverage. They wanted to be in the news. So they were wanting to be in newspapers, magazines, television, and radio. And while that's still true, with the inclusion of more digital platforms like podcasts and blogs, they're very much asking for those types of things. They're looking for a more digital side of PR, which kind of gets into that realm of digital platforms and online platforms where they can share their story, but in a much more expedited manner. I'll just say that. And it's a reflection of the culture and society that we live in now. Everyone wants that instant gratification. I will even own up to it myself. I'm so used to ordering on Amazon or ordering my groceries, and it's right there, right when I want it, in an hour or a day, but it's so fast. And the same thing goes for our news and our information. We want our news right now. No, not a minute late, not 30. We want it right now. So with that, people are expecting things much faster. And the only way that you can really do that is, especially in the news side of things, is going digital and going online, because online you can post much more quickly than you could printing out a magazine or printing out newspapers for hundreds of thousands of consumers to be delivered to their homes. So you're absolutely right. And that's, again, such a good question, because, in working with clients and working with the newer, clientele and prospects as well, we're finding that they're not just looking for the general media outreach. No, they're looking for, I want online marketing. I want digital marketing. I also want to be featured on more online news sources and not just your traditional local ones that we're used to. So I definitely attribute it to the change in technology, but also the change in our culture and our society. We want it now, and the clients very much show that they want it now too.
Right, Brandi, you have put it well. So how does a PR agency, and especially if it's a small PR agency, mid-sized PR agency, get ready for these changes? Because on one side you have the existing clients demanding certain things,
Mhm.
and on the other side you got to keep on get looking at the business pipeline of new clients, and then at the same time you have got to have a media team which has to be so much constantly on the move, because clients are demanding, and clients are demanding so many things at the same time. Earlier it was more of media coverage, Nowadays, I guess there is a huge uh, boost towards the content side of things. And even though there is this AI coming in, but that is not going to be enough for anybody. It might be able to give you the first draft, but at the end of the day, you got to have use your thinking head, and that is where this whole concept of helping your client reclaim their narrative. But at the same time, clients not only want to reclaim their narrative or build their narrative, at the same time, they also want thought leadership. So, as the owner of your company, of branding PR, how do you keep yourself ready for your clients as well as future ready in terms of your business preparation? Because that has to be business viability. You have any agency will have limited amount of money, and that money has to come from clients, and those clients can come in and also go at any point in time.
Oh, yes, yes. So the way that we have adapted to the drastic changes that exist in technology, culture, and society is that we as an agency are constantly updating our software and also staying aware of the trends and insights that are happening in the communications industry. So we're all aware of AI technology pretty much disrupting the creative agency, right? Now we have a system that you can just give it a few words and it'll spit out essays, paragraphs, papers on whatever topic that you share with them. And while it is somewhat of a disruption to many in the creative agency, we don't look at it that way. I can tell you just in the 14 years that I've worked in public relations and marketing that there has been plenty of disruptions during that time. When I got started, Twitter had just gotten started. So I remember when it came out and everyone was talking about, hey, have you heard of this new social media platform? Now you have to tweet. And that's how you get the word out about your business and what you're doing and sharing information. And that was such a big thing at that time. So going from the early stages of social media to now getting into AI technology, I'm very much used to the constant changes that are existing when new technology arrives and essentially disrupts how our processes are in the communications industry. So very much used to it. And what has always been my go-to and way to essentially adapt to it is that it's adapting. It's learning how can I use this tool to not only help my performance, but also help my team's performance. So when we learned about the AI technology, I told my team, this is something we should be excited about, but we also need to be aware of it. We need to understand how does this system work and how we can use it to our benefit that ultimately will benefit our clients. So when you talk about constantly staying up on trends, that's a really important part of any agency. And it is especially so with Brandinc PR, is that we're constantly on top of those trends. We were actually using AI technology, I want to say about 2 years ago when it was first introduced to us, because we stay abreast of what's happening and what's coming down the pipeline when it comes to new tools that we can potentially be using. But certainly, when it comes to clientele, it was absolutely something that we wanted to test some projects out, test out some campaigns. Let's use some of this technology and just see how it can help us in our performance, that we can be even better for our clients. And our clientele can appreciate that. We primarily work with entertainment brands. We work with lifestyle brands in apparel and beauty. We've also worked with brands that are in the nonprofit space. So very, very diverse group of individuals and brands that we work with, and all have very, very specific needs. But being able to use some of the newer tools with them and just seeing and navigating how well it does and determining and of course assessing if it's a good benefit that we'll keep, that ultimately leads us in the right direction of if we will keep the project or if we will keep those tools and software or if we won't. So AI was definitely one of those that we were absolutely like, hey, this is actually very helpful, but we also need to understand and make it very, very clear. AI technology is a partner for us, but it's not a replacement. We are the thought leaders. We are the ones that are generating the stories and creating that storytelling moment for our clients. So it's very much important that while this tool is really, really great to use, when you have a little bit of brain fog or you have writer's block and you're just needing something to give me some ideas and how many
Right.
ways can I go about this? It's great for that. But to use it completely and just kind of disregard our initial thought processes, we don't want to do that. There is such thing as becoming a slave to the machine. What we don't want is for us to become so reliant on these new technologies that we forget our basic skills as communicators, talking to people, having conversations, sharing a story that's relevant to the industry, and we're sharing that story or preparing a story on behalf of our clients. We still need to be able to do that because with technology or without it, someone has to fill that role. And that's where we come in and we are the support and champion of our clients. And that just goes for the communications industry as a whole. While again, it's a disruptive new thing and it can be alarming and it can be scary, but I would say to those folks, embrace it, learn about the system, see how you can use this as a partner tool to help you do better in your job. But remember that you are still very much an asset and a value, and your thoughts, your ideas are still very much needed to explore and to really connect the human stories that very much make up communications.
Absolutely, absolutely, Brandi. So let's look at it this way. With an agency like yours, doing such great work in several, of the domains, is that from a PR, say, client perspective, how best they can say take the best out of, say, branding PR, from if they are your clients, what is it that they can do to get the best out from themselves? Because many a times they have their own perception and they are always in a hurry, but there is a way. If they are patient enough, they can get the best out of their agency, either both in terms of branding PR, as well as, in from Brandi Sims, how
Yes.
best they can take out the best that you guys have to offer.
Oh, absolutely. So I believe the best way to get the most impactful results, the most successful results, has always been it comes down to the client and what information they're willing to provide for us, so that it can allow us to jump into our strategy and our tactics. Right? You only know as much information as the client tells you. So if there's only just a minuscule that we're working with, that's all we're going to have to be able to pitch, to share the story. So we need the entire thing. We need to know exactly who are your competitors? Who do you consider a competitor? We want to know, how active are you on your social media platforms? Do you have social media platforms? Do you have a website? Basic branding questions is how we vet our clients and determine if they're even a good fit for us to work with. Because at the end of the day, while it's great to have some information, it's better to have a full spectrum of what you're working with. That helps you assess where you fill in the gaps as an agency, and at least how we do it, how best we can assist this clientele. So to maximize on our results, we look at all facets of this particular brand. We want to see exactly what are you working with? How have you been featured in the past? Have you worked with another agency? And just those basic details can have such an impact and provide so much guidance as to what we're dealing with and what we're working with and how best we can support them. But 100%, when it comes to those results, the best results that we've seen for our clientele has always been clients that have an established track record when it comes to pushing their information out. They've been featured on more than one news segment, media outlet. They have an active presence on social media. They have an active website with up to date information that they're sharing to their followers. Those key things have been one of the basic foundational elements that help when we talk about communications and messaging. Think of it like this. For example, we are in the space of almost being a negotiator. When we connect with our media contacts, reporters, journalists, and we're pitching out your business, we're sharing the information that you have. And of course, we're tailoring it to that particular media outlet so we get the best outcome that we're looking for. but we're pitching on your behalf. So when we present your business to these media outlets, the first thing that they're going to look at, while of course they're going to listen to the pitch, they're supposed to, they're going to listen to it, they're going to read it, but they're going to check back and cross reference the things that we've shared. If we say that
Absolutely.
you have a strong social media presence and that you're responding actively to your followers, they're going to go check your social media to see if that is the case. So when
Right.
they visit your social media platforms and they see, oh, you haven't posted in 4 years, and here is someone on your a commenter on your page that's saying, I didn't really like the products that you guys sent me and I can't get a hold of anyone, and that hasn't been responded to. Those types of things can have a negative impact on your results. So having an active presence, it's not enough to just be on social media, but you have to have an active presence where you're actually responding to people and you're sharing company updates and news and information related to your brand. And it has to be consistent. The same thing goes with the website. If we're saying that you guys are innovative and you have this new product and you've got to check it out, and they go on your website and they see it hasn't been updated since 2019, then they start to think, is this really a real business, or is it just the PR person is telling us that it's new and great, but it actually isn't a new product and it's not anything. They don't even bother to update their website. So I share these stories because these are things that I've actually heard in my professional career from reporters and journalists. These are the things that they look for, and these are the things that they see if it's not up to date, that makes them decide that they don't want to cover and they don't want to feature you. So those are the types of things that right out the gate, when we talk about results and we talk about getting the maximum results, having those foundational things set in stone and actively being utilized and updated are important things that we look for, because that is what sets apart and makes the difference between those clients that are very successful with communications and PR and those that are not. I also like to share this, that, with PR, it's not a water to wine situation. We're not miracle workers. However, I
Right.
feel like there's been a couple miracles we've pulled off in campaigns. But, at the end of the day, we have to have something to work with. We have to have something to sell. If you don't have those things that are readily available and you're consistently working on, we're not going to have a lot to work with. The clients that we've seen that have had the best results have always had those things checked off. And I can definitely tell you, even with one of our more recent campaigns, we worked with an LA mobile app that was based. It was a LinkedIn style app for entertainers. So think
Right.
actors, actresses, directors, and they were struggling with getting any type of coverage, even though they had a lot of those basic things available. Our team jumped on board because they weren't working on their PR. And we developed an intensive campaign where we focused on all of the major news outlets. We focused on online platforms to be able to pitch them. And from there, within 6 months, we were able to get national media placements in companies such as Afrotech, Black Enterprise. I believe we got Forbes for this client, as well as several other national media placements. Those national media placements ended up getting them even bigger opportunities, because as a startup app, they were looking for investors. They wanted people to continue to support the development of the app. Because of the national placements we were able to secure for this company, they ended up getting closing out a $1.8 million round seed funding for their business. And they directly attributed us as being able to promote and push their brand out there to where others could see that, oh, they're actually doing all of these amazing things and getting those media placements for them. They attributed that success. And of course, some hard work on their end from the tech side, but they attributed the visibility that we were able to get for them as one of the helpful factors that helped them secure that amount of funding. And that was phenomenal. So I know that was pretty long and drawn out.
No, no, no. It's perfectly all right, and
Yeah.
it's very important to not only talk about the difficult times, but also the success stories are very important, because that's what keeps you going, but that's what keeps the morale of the team high. And without that morale and motivation, nothing works out. And I'm sure,
Exactly.
and that works not only for the PR agency, but also for the client, that those people who are not able to get any traction earlier on, because of some great thinking from your PR agency, from your side, you were able to get some great media coverage for them. And that is what good thinking is all about, where actually you get to understand, when you get to understand the product very, very well, and then you set into motion and put those ideas and strategies on the ground. Because sometimes it all looks so simple and so easy, but those things look only easy once they are done. Earlier on, it does not work, and then somebody like you has to come in and make them work. So how can people connect with you, know more about Brandy, as well as about your company, and also who are the type of clients who should be connecting with you, especially in any domain, any particular industry, or any type of particular client who should not be connecting with you, and rather you have a certain particular set of a understanding that, okay, this is only the type of client that you want.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. So the type of clients that we serve, well, just to start off with the industries that we focus on. So we focus on entertainment brands, but we also work in tech, nonprofit, political, as well as beauty and cosmetics. So we have a very robust list of clients that we serve, and really a robust list of industries that we serve too. So we help to support all of these areas at the maximum capabilities that we can, and give them the results that they're ultimately looking for, which is more buzz around their brand, as well as generating awareness about their brand. That's what we're here to do. And we use several of our strategies and tactics that have been proven effective and successful based on our track record that we've had consistently for clients. We're able to get those results, and I believe that we can get that for you. But those are the types of industries that we serve and the type of clientele that we serve. Um, we have worked with startups in the past. It's one of those that we continue to support and help in any way that we can, as well as those nonprofit organizations. So we certainly can help to support those as well, and continue to support those as well. How you can get in contact with me or get in contact with our team, if there's a project that you have a need for, you can absolutely visit our website at brandincpr.com. You can also follow us on social media at Brandinc PR. We're on all of the major social media platforms, and certainly can answer your questions there. But how the process really looks is, first, we would want you to reach out to us, let us know what your project is about, and just how we can assist, or what exactly are you looking for when it comes to PR and communications. I think you said it best earlier, is that people sometimes have an idea of what communications is, and then they really don't quite get it. So our website has a ton of great resources that helps explain, this is what we do, and this is what we offer, and this is our specialty. Where our specialty is PR and media outreach. We do community outreach. We also do media pitching, copywriting, as well as some general branding development. So website design, flyer designs, things to that nature. We offer all of those services, of course, through our website, and you can view all of those different uh, services as well there. But first things first, we definitely want to know more about your project. So we'll ask, typically in our assessment, just basic information, kind of what I mentioned earlier about the foundational elements of your brand. Do you have a website? Do you have social media? What's your follower count? Those basic things will help us to determine if we can be the best assistance for you to get the most results that you're looking for, or if it's something that we're not able to take on at this time, but we can refer you out to someone else that can handle your brand. But the ultimate goal, is we want you to reach out, and you can do so by visiting the website and getting connected with any one of our teammates.
Wonderful, wonderful. On this note, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.